Welcome everybody. Chief from the Baja Spares RC Speedcar Super Series Community Live Show. Just go through a few of the sponsors of the show and the club, just to get online and sort a few things out before we get going. So just hold off till a few people get here, and we'll see how we go. So should be a good night tonight. Just send off a couple of messages to people. Sent off to them, and yeah, so we just go through a few of the sponsors of the quarter scale fraternity in Perth. Bit of an early show tonight. Unfortunately, I've had a interview pull out, which was Paul Wall from Adelaide. He's got a few commitments which he couldn't get out of, so unfortunately, Paul won't be coming online. But it'll be right. We will continue on and see how we're going. 3, 2, 1, good, go. Good on you, Tanya. Always rely on Tanya to come up and say something. Bloody ads. Got to pay for the community. So if anyone wants to come online tonight, just click on that link there, and you'll be able to come on live. So we'll get rid of these ads and we'll go live. Let's turn all these off. And here we go. Chief from the Baja Spares RC Speedcar Community Live Show. Coming to you from headquarters of Super Series, and brought to you by Baja Spares, leading #1 quarter scale, 5th scale part shop in Australia. Shipping express daily around Australia. Just a great job for our quarter scale. We'll be on a bit later on to do a bit of a show. I'll see he's just logged in now, so he'll be there. We'll get him on in a few minutes. So he's in the waiting in the green room, waiting to get going. So well done to Wiggy. So last Sunday we saw the second round of the club season. The numbers were still down a little bit. It was a actual Sunday show. There were 5 AMCAs, 6 sprint cars, 13 dirt mods, and 8 late models. So numbers will start to get going once the weather gets a bit finer and stuff like that. It was a bit iffy towards the start. We had a fair bit of rain the day before, so unfortunately it's happened. Unfortunately, it just happened. So, but it was the AMCA Gold Cup, brought to you by Fully Promoted. The results were the AMCAs. Tim Metcher, he won it. Great to see Tim win it. Braden Bradshaw second, had 2 DNFs in 3 DNFs. Scotty Elder, John Elford, and Tim Trihorn. Unfortunately, DNF due to mechanical failure, but it was all good for them. Speed cars were cancelled due to lack of numbers. Dirt mods, a little bit to say about dirt mods a bit later on, but Ben Higgs won from Glenn Richards, George Leroy, Chris Holdness, Dale Clark, and Paul Ship, and Trent Harding and Robert Bell. A few DNFs on the day: Ray Payne, Michael Jeffrey, Jared Marshall, Alistair Waddell, and Colin Friend DNF'd, unfortunately. Sprint cars, Aaron Friend, Guido Vaseko, Dale Pike, and Dale Clark and Lenny Scudder both had DNFs. Sedans were cancelled due to lack of numbers as well. The late models had 8 late models there for Dale Clark to have the win. Aaron Friend, Richard Branderhurst were the first 3. Did not finish Ashman, Jared Marshall, Glenn Richards. So there was some relatively good racing over the day. So the track was a bit treacherous. Had a fair bit of rain on it the day before. They managed to get the track up and running, which was good to see. So hopefully it was all good. And, hopefully next meeting is this coming up this weekend. So we will hopefully get the track a bit better and a bit smoother. Shouldn't have much rain this week, so it should be pretty good to watch. So So we've got a bit of a tech talk. We'll get Wiggy online due to the fact there's 3 hours ahead of us, and with daylight savings, so I thought I'd do an early show just so I can get Wiggy on to talk about spark plug gap and coil gap. So I'll just click him in to get him on the show. Here he is, Wiggy.
Oh, Chief, how are you, buddy?
Not bad, yourself.
Oh, I'm not complaining. You
have you got the chief camera girl there?
Oh, I hope so, because I'm not holding it.
No worries. There she is, lovely Tanya. How you going, Tanya?
Good, thank you.
Had a bit of a lock up. So tonight, Wiggy, I thought I might just get you on to talk a bit about spark plug gap and coil gap, which are two very important things about motors when you're rebuilding them and setting them up.
Well, that's right, Chief. It's no good putting tyres on your brand new tyres on your car and tuning it up if you haven't got all the correct things to get it to go, like your spark plug gap and coil gap. So we'll start with the spark plug gap first, eh?
Yep.
So I'll remove the spark plug. Now I use a spark plug gapping tool here. Spark plug gap is recommended to be 0.29. So I keep a mark on mine, and you just put it on there at the narrowest part and slide it around so it won't go any further like that, which is 29. So you know that's gapped correctly. If it's too close, put it in there and open it up a bit to get it. If you go around to here, it's too wide, so just give it a tap and close it back. But that one is set perfectly at 0.29,000. So that's right, and you know that's correct.
When you buy a spark plug, do they come out pretty well correct?
They're not far away, but these spark plugs which we use in our engines, the NGK CMR7H, go in a wide variety of engines, so we already said it. So you have to check them. They're not free gaps. They have engine in, so you must check it. So I'll just sit that back in there. Now, the next thing we'll do is the what we call the air gap, coil gap between the coil and the flywheel. Now you must check this and keep an eye on it, because the two magnets here in the flywheel, when they pass under that coil, that's what generates a spark. Okay?
Yep.
Now, if that distance isn't correct, you'll get a weak spark if it's too far away, and if it's too close, you might lose your spark because they actually hit the magnets. And that's very important. This is sort of a tune for optimum performance before you even worry about anything else with your engine. So would you like me to show you how to set that, Chief?
Yep. Just show us everybody how to set the gap on the coil. That'll be great, because everyone takes their coil off a fair bit when you do motors and stuff. So.
Right, well, I've taken the switch out of the way to make it easy so you can see. So the first thing you do is loosen off your screws around the coil. And you'll notice you can move that coil up and down, so that's your adjustment. So what you do is you take your air gap tool, which I have here, which we can supply. They're $8 each from DDM, and they're a Zenoa air gap tool, actually. See why I don't make them, but Zenoa. So it's a genuine Zenoa tool. So you loosen your coil off and you sit that, well, you try to. It can be difficult. Sit that under there. I'm having trouble, Chief. There we go. You sit that under there between the coil and the flywheel. But you make sure your magnets are out of the way, down the bottom here, off to the side somewhere. So, yeah, rotate that around so your magnets aren't under the coil, or it will suck down. So, with that being loose, hold your tool, and you turn that round till the magnets come up underneath. Both of them underneath the coil, and you'll feel that coil get sucked down to the magnets. Now you know that's at the correct gap with your tool. So you then tighten those up. So their bolts are tight there now. Now your air gap tool's still there. So you rotate your flywheel and it'll come out. Then just turn him over a few times. Make sure it's not, we'll take the plug out because we've got compression. Turn the over a few times, make sure it's not hitting, which it shouldn't be because you've set it correct. Now you have the correct gap, air gap coil has been set. And that's how you do it.
So really what you should be doing is checking these a fair bit because those screws can vibrate loose and stuff, all your coiling up and stuff like that.
Well, what happens, say it's a brand new motor, as the bearings actually bear in a bit, the flywheel will get a little bit of free play in it. So you should keep an eye on it and check it as you run a new motor. With second-hand motors, yes, you have to check it a fair bit because they will move around a fair bit. So you have to keep checking the air gap. And your spark plug, check it regularly because you want to tune for optimal performance and get every bit out of your engine, and it's a cheap way of doing it.
It's really in a maintenance program, isn't it, really?
Well, you should always take your cover off. If you've been in a lot of water and sometimes the dirt has corrosive stuff in it, these magnets will go rusty.
Oh, okay. Yep.
See the two there? See, that's got a little bit of rust on it. Shoot a little bit of fine emery and clean them, and same with the bottom of your coil, because this is a fan that cools the motor, so it sucks in all the dirt, debris, rubbish, water, anything will get sucked in there. So that will rust, make your motor very hard to start. And also, if that air gap is not correct, your motor will be hard to start. It will run like a bucket of poo. And the same if your plug gap is not that correct. So those two are the main things with your engines. You've got spark, they're going to go. But I've seen that many times their engines won't start, the coil gap's closed down, it's rubbing on the spark, it won't go. Haven't checked their plug, and it's just a cautionary thing. It's easy to do now, I've shown you. These tools here, I have plenty of those, they're only $8 each. Once you've got one, you've got one. Now, the other thing is, Chief, have you seen people using business cards to set their coil gap?
Any what?
Have you seen people using business cards or money to set their
yep.
on their coil?
Yep.
Well,
yeah, I've seen
the
that.
trouble with that is every business card is a different. Money is different thickness again, so you're not actually setting it correct to how it should be.
And I am a printer by trade, and I do know that all cards come in different thicknesses. Trust me.
Yeah, it's a cheap tool, cheap insurance to set that correct.
So also when you're
plenty of those if anybody. The spark plug tapping tool, we can even supply those if you need one.
And also, when you got your covers off your engine, it'll be good to check your spark plug leads and all that as well, obviously.
That's correct. Yeah, you don't want any breaks in your spark plug lead, so spark will be jumping.
So just make sure they're not rubbing on the flywheel or anything like that when you're putting them all back together.
That's correct. Right, and make sure if you fit a kill switch or you fit wires, if you fit a kill switch or you've got wires in there, always give it a little twist to the left so the wires from the flywheel. Otherwise, they get sucked down in there and it'll short out and you'll have all sorts of trouble. So you always run my safety wire switch, whatever, kill switch. Always run them out
Yep.
the back there and underneath there to keep both the flywheel.
Okay, yep. Good.
Okay, that's about it, Chief. So we'll go off there and if questions. We can answer them online there. Just type them in.
Put them in the comments. How's the
somebody else wants to do something else?
How's the Hallam track coming along? While we got you on, just the.
Well, we're still in lockdown, so.
A little bit of breaking up tonight there, Wiggy.
Get over
No,
there,
we lost you. No, we lost you, I think.
My phone's absolutely up.
Yeah, it's been playing up a little bit, breaking up a bit. Okay, Wiggy, thanks for that. And it looks like you might have a little bit of an issue with the phone right now, but thanks for. Oh, he's gone off. He's gone off. Thanks, Wiggy. That was a bit of a just to let you know how to set your spark plug gap and your coil gap there. Very important things for getting the motor running. He was obviously having a couple of issues with the phone there. It was breaking up a little bit. So. Yeah, you want any tips or anything, just to give Wiggy a call or whatever, and we'll come online and do these little live things just to show you how to set cars up and stuff like that. So no, it's all been pretty good day. Been raining again today, so hopefully the weather looks good for this weekend, which is this next weekend is the B&R Racing Dirt Mod High Roller. As everybody probably saw last week, I went live with about 2.5 hours of the racing down at the track. I had to go before the feature races, unfortunately, but come across quite well. Just a little bit disappointed with the first couple of races. I think a few people got turned off the live coverage. They left after watching the first couple of races because of the crashing and bashing going on in the couple of races of the dirt mods for the first two heats. A lot of them couldn't get past the start line. There were people going upside down at the start and before the start line. Just got to remember that the races aren't won in the first corner or the corner before the start. So we just got to try and ease up a little bit coming around to the start line, or just putting it out there. This is a general thought of mine. Just would it be an idea to have a standing start on the main straight? Just stagger the cars a little bit. First pole, then second one's a bit off, then third one, fourth one, and just start like that. Because we seem to be having a few issues on the rolling starts come around on the first corner. When the cars run slow, they run a bit. They are a lot harder to handle. They do handle not as good as they should, but. It was just a bit embarrassing to watch the show last week. Once we got up and running, the track was, as I say, a little bit bouncy for sprint cars and amp cars, but we saw some great racing from most of the classes, and it was a good show. The canteen was open there. They had a great day as well. Made a bit of money on the canteen, I think, and so it was just wasn't too bad a day for a Sunday show. Hopefully next Saturday evening. It looks like it's only 30 degrees on Friday and about 27 on Saturday, so that's perfect weather. Hopefully the coolness stays out of the evenings, and you can come down to the West Oz Quarter Scale Speedway down at Gemma Road in Henderson there, right next door to the go-kart truck. Come down and watch a bit of Quarter Scale Speedway action. Jason Chaddock, well done. Jason Chaddock's just come online. I'll be there with my sprint car. Oh, he's got his sprint car going. Well done, Jason. Be great to see you. Did you see? Understand? Okay. Yep, it was all coming through good, Wiggy. Just I said you had a bit of a breakup in your phone. We'll get that sorted for next time. That's not a drama. So no, it was good to get you on and just show us how to do what to do and stuff like that. So got a few people watching tonight, which is good. Hopefully we can get a few more on next hour, half an hour or so. So as I said, this weekend I'll probably be racing myself, but I'll be going live for most of the races. I've got the webcam set up. I can run it through the PC and just run it live all day. And it should be hopefully a good show to run live at night. We have this first meeting I'll probably fully attend is this weekend. Traditional barbecue will be back. And so it should be some great racing. As I said, the dirt mods will probably get a good field of. I'll be there to bug you. Chelsea Vaseko, she'll be there to bug me again like normal. Done a great job lately, last couple of weeks, Chelsea has. Stitching me up pretty well for a surprise birthday party. But I enjoyed it. We enjoy each other's company. It's good. So it's been pretty slow start to the season. I said numbers have been down a little bit. Hopefully we can start getting up and running in the next couple of weeks and get the classes up and running. So for have I gone off here? I should still be running. Hopefully didn't go off there. I thought I might have went off there. So just a little Tim Metcher, who won the Gold Cup in AMCA's last meeting. He's a relatively newcomer to the class. He started off pretty hard with destroying a car before he could even race it. But he drove really, really well. He drove really smart to win the race of the Gold Cup there. I think it was his first big race meeting. So on behalf of Baja Spares and the live show, just like to present Tim with a spark plug and a set of spanners. These spanners, if anyone hasn't seen them from Wiggy, he gets them, supplies them, or Super Cheap Auto sell them as well. But and a plug. These spanners are really good for getting in a tight. They're really small spanner for getting into the tight places on speed cars and AMCAs. I use them religiously, and it's just they're a really good thing. And so I'll present those to Tim Metcher on Saturday at the club show, and just thanks to Wiggy. No, they don't. Oh no, they don't. Just Wiggy sells them. That's all right then. So I'll present those to Tim for having a great little race and his first major trophy meeting he won, I think. So it was great to see. I think the West Oz Course Speedway is still looking for a canteen manager for this season. Very important job for the canteen, the income and maintenance to maintain this wonderful club facility we have. So anyone's looking at spending a few hours at the canteen, managing it, and just ring up the club or ring up Lynn or Scotty Elder and just let them know that you're interested in managing the canteen. I think that they're doing. The girls are doing a great job now. They only open it from 4 till 8 and the race days, 4 hours, and just in time for dinner and stuff like that. So it's anyone looking for a little job to do at the club, it'll be much appreciated. Also, don't know if you were watching over the weekend, we had Big Kev and his brother Chris from the Fifth Scale Dirt Oval Racing Network in Tennessee, America. They had a big show on the weekend. They broadcast most of the show live. Of their late model, they run 2 or 3 different classes of late models and dirt mods. I think they're pro class and stock class and all these different classes. But if you go into their Fifth Scale Dirt Oval Racing Network Facebook page and watch a few of the videos they run a really good show there. Big Kev's, he's just a great fellow for promoting the sport, and his brother. They just love it, and Big Kev gets pretty excited. I don't know how he went this week. I didn't actually see any prancing around, or the dream didn't come out. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know how he went, but no doubt we'll find out this week. And so hopefully he can come online. We're going to do a live show with him again in the near future. He's going to interview me and get me on his network and have a bit of a play around. So, hi, Boothie. Has Boothie come on, has he? Oh, I can't see his name anywhere. Fair enough then. So now, well done to Big Kev and his brother Chris there for promoting the sport, racing, and putting all the live shows out for the world to watch. They put on some great shows over there as well. Also, the American Outlaw Raceway, the Fairly Outlaw, Mike William. Haven't seen a live show for a while, but obviously they've been racing a bit, and so hopefully he'll always have a look and see how we go. And there's Boothie, the winner of the prize a couple of weeks ago. He's finally received it, so well done to Boothie. Talking about Jeff Booth, bit of an update on the Australian Open title. With regret, the committee of the SSME Speedway have come to the hard decision to cancel the 2021 Australian Open Quarter Scale Speedway Championships, which was set down for November the 26th to 29th, with New South Wales expected to come out of lockdown on the 11th of October, further easing of restrictions on the 18th of October. However, the Victorian lockdown until 21st of October, no information as to when the borders will be open to Queensland and WA will be open. So I left no option to cancel it. We also felt it was not appropriate to hold Australian or any of the state title when the competitors from other states would not be able to attend or enter the event for reasons out of their control. Even if the state borders were opened, it may have come at a point where the competitors may have to go into quarantine in New South Wales and on their return home, which would have been an option to going into quarantine. This COVID pandemic has affected a lot of people and events over the last 2 years, and hopefully 2022 we can hold and get our hobby back to where it should be, racing. Come late January 2022, we hope that it'll let everyone know the venue for the Australian Open Quarter Scale Speedway in October 2022. And another big event is set for Easter long weekend in 2022. Stay safe, and hopefully all can get back to racing real soon. The committee of the SSME Speedway section, a lot of them. It's a bit disappointing that we couldn't run that title, but it's as they say there, it's just common sense. If the whole of Australia is not open to it, you can't really you can't call it Australian title. Or even if you can't call it if it's state title and if there's an open state title and people can't make it to the state title, it was a pretty hard decision to make. But obviously that's the way that we got to do things these days, make it hard decisions. But as I said, just keep in contact with Jeff Booth from the London Quarter Scale Speedway, and they will keep everyone informed on Facebook and on their website to what's happening with the up-and-coming events. So why is Queensland running theirs? Well, that's a good question. I don't really know why anybody would be running state titles or whatever if people can't attend from anywhere, from everywhere who wanted to attend, unless you just call it a Queensland or any state. We just could call ours a WA closed state title, which is just open to our guys. So it just depends which way they've been worded to how they can run these titles. It's a shame, but as I say, you just don't know if you go away and you get caught and you got to go back into isolation when you get home or quarantine for 2 weeks, and just it's a big burden on your workload, on your employment and stuff like that. So it's just a really dodgy thing to do. Unfortunately, we haven't heard much with the big speedway, what's happening there with the World Series or stuff like that. But it's just one of those things, hopefully, that we can get sorted out. Say in Perth, it's been pretty good, but it's just everywhere else. It's closed the border. We won't open our borders till probably April, May next year, the way they're going. So it's just bit of a shame because we all love travelling around and getting to meet these great people who are in this sport. It's only Reno the way I met John Wiggins and these guys, Tanya and these guys from over there. And it's just unfortunately we can't go and do our racing how we like to. So much for the RCRA rule not followed. Okay, we won't go there, but good question. So up and coming meetings, the Mills Drainage Summer Slam will be held on November the 27th. And it should be a big meeting, huge meeting. Once we get it all, here we go there. Once we get it all sorted out to what point score we're going to run and what format we want to run, should be a huge meeting. Hopefully Clayton will have his full-size speedway bike down there on display and do a couple of parade laps around our little track with our quarter-scale sidecars. And but that's the 27th of November. Just keep it free. Come down, have a great look, come and sit on the bank and have a few beers on the bank there, and free to get in. Come for a walk through the pits. Come and have a great meal at the canteen, and it should be a great night. Also, the Carroll Hall Transportation Late Model Summer Series has had the first meetings been run and won. Got 3 meetings left to go. One is December the 18th, 2021. January the 29th and February the 6th. They're the last 3 rounds of the Carroll Hall Transportation RC Late Model Southern Thunder Series. So it's been a great little series. Great sponsors. We got Carroll Hall, Baja Spares, Da Vinci Homes, and the major prize just you don't have to win no races or anything. Just get your name in the draw, nominate for the rounds, and the prize will be your name will get drawn out of the hat. If there's 2 prizes up for grabs from Paul Stubber and Elise Stubber in Bunbury, we can do have some laps in the passenger seat of his 2-seater late model, fully fledged late model. Got a big horsepower motor in it. It's a full car, full late model set up. Just got a passenger seat in it, and he does that for promoting his late model sport. So, special thanks to Paul Stubber and Ellis Stubber for putting up that great prizes. That'll happen on a Wednesday night down at the Motorplex, and they'll say all you got to do is enter 1 round or 3 rounds or 4 rounds. If you enter 4 rounds, you get 4 entries into the draw. If you enter 1 round, you get 1 name into the draw. So it should be a good little spinner for that. It's just a simple format. You race, you come down and race. Just points are over the heats and the feature race all add up. The person with the highest points at the end of the series is a winner, and then we get to draw out a name out of the hat for the Paul Stubber prize. Probably there'll be an engine up for grabs for first place. Baja will probably throw a few prizes this way. We've had a few more sponsors come on, so hopefully we can get probably $1,000 worth of prizes and for this little series. Just keep the late models getting out there. So it should be a great little series. As for the West Oz Quarter Scale Speedway, I went down there last week for the first time. Haven't been there for a while. Been just busy doing a fair bit of other stuff. And the place looks really good. As I said, the sponsor signs up on turn 1 and 2 there. A great addition to the track facility. Facility's looking pretty clean and nice, and it's looking really nice to go down there and present yourself. So just through some section ladder. Are they ever? Could always ask Aria to come on and explain. Yeah, I could do that. Might do it next week, actually. I might get someone on from the RCRA and just see what we can do, talk about. We'll see what happens. Thanks for that, Ian. So, but no, it's quarter scale racing around Australia. I see I meant to have Paul War on tonight, but obviously something come up in his family tonight. They raced at Penrith, I think, on Saturday night. Paul had a bit of a shocking meeting, but I think Wiggy, help me. What's Paul's mate's name? Who had a pretty good night? Him and his son, Cody. I think it is Cody. Is it Cody? I can't remember the guy's name now, but from what I heard, he was pretty on the pace. Their father and son combination there. And Shane, that's it. Shane and his son, they were pretty quick in their dirt mods, I think they run. And Shane and Cody Herring, I can't remember the surname, but father and son, they had a great race. I mean, they were pretty quick from what Paul was telling me last night when he spoke to me. And Baja back cars do a fair bit of Baja spares. He do a fair bit of dealing with the guys in South Australia. Hannigan, that's it. Hannigan. Yeah, so they had a great little bit of racing. Shane Hannigan. Thanks, Darren. Well done. Also see that there's one of the regular watchers of this show and a few of my online stuff is I think it's NT Jack up there in the Northern Territory. I see he's just received a fair few parts from Wiggy. He got a motor delivered up there in 4 days, which is very unusual for Darwin. I'll give you the tip. It normally takes a while to get there. But he seems to be putting a couple of race cars together, I think. He's pretty regular on this show, watching this show, and putting comments up. John Elford, how you going, Jono? Good to see you come on tonight. See the ex-president of the Northern Territory, awesome customer. Ex-president of the West Oz Corscale Speedway. He has a lot to do with keeping the track up to scratch now, and getting into his racing. He's had a bit of a shocker. He'd probably say himself. He's had a shocker of a start to the season. But he still does a fair bit of work on the track. He'd done an unbelievable job last week to actually get the track up and running so we could race on it, because the rain didn't help, and we had rain up till about 12 o'clock at night. So he managed to keep the covers on and peel them off in the morning, drip the track up a bit and get it relatively race ready. As I said, it was a bit of a elbows up racetrack. Some guys like it, some guys don't. I saw a couple of guys put posts up saying the track was the worst it's ever been, and they hated racing on it. But it's the same track for every person. So if they want to come on and say they just slow down a bit and race to the race conditions. But so it's not that easy to prepare a track. If you're got a lot to say about preparing tracks, jump on the track committee and go down and put your 2 bobs worth in and see if you can do a better job. But it's Jono and Shane and Jono and Greg Cowie and Scotty Elder. Those guys do a great job of getting the track during the week. Greg Cowie's been a bit crook lately. So get well, Greg. I don't know if you're on tonight, but old Showtime hasn't been him. He hasn't been himself the last couple of weeks. He's been pretty knocked around by the not COVID, but I think he's got a pretty bad case of flu, and he's knocked him around a fair bit. When we went out for dinner last week, he didn't say much, and but he's hopefully getting over it. He come down the track last week, just didn't even come down the pits, just sat in his car because he was so crook. He didn't want to give it to anybody else. But Dale Clark, great effort by everybody involved, even to have the track to race on last week. Yeah, that's what I thought, Dale. The track was, I don't mind a bit of a rough track like that. They just you can race hard on them, but it's a little bit more not forgiving. It's so you just got to be a bit elbows up and try and keep out the bumps and race smart, and it put on for good racing. Everyone's got to race on the same track, so it's one of those things to bitch and complain about it, but everyone's got the same problem. But if you just drive conservatively and race it, you will, it's like any speedway go-karts, anything, the track conditions are the track conditions. They change every lap. So you just got to drive smart and do that. So it's a way of racing. But 50% throttle all day. Yeah, you run 50% throttle all day every day because you got too much horsepower. You don't get on the track if you run any more than that. So, but no, it's great to see. Air gap tool, $11 posted. There you go. Anyone wants the air gap tool for doing your plug-in coil gaps? $11 posted. To get onto Wiggy, send him a message or an email or whatever. Just send him a message, get onto him, and he'll post it out tomorrow if you want something. But they're a great tool to have. It's once again thanks to Wiggy for all the support he does for Baja Spares in Perth and Australia-wide. He just does an awesome job promoting Quarter Scale Speedway and getting the parts around the place and helping out people all the time. 45cc engine. That's what Dale Clark runs. That's the big horsepower he's got. Cut in half. He's got a 23cc. Beautiful. Just enough. For been a bit of talk about late models with the RCRA late model rule with the minimum of 29c or 28.9cc up to 32cc engines. So there's been a bit of talk about it over the last couple of days. So we're just looking into that one. I personally didn't know the rule was, I didn't know it had a minimum engine size, but that's what they've done. And it's just a couple of guys over here run 26cc. Even I think Darren Locke used to run 23cc in his late model sometimes earlier. But understand having a maximum weight, but having maximum cc size, but having a minimum cc size, I just can't see the point in that way. If you want to run a 23, you'll be blown out of the park. But just it's just be out there anyway. But hopefully we will have a look into that one, or everyone will have a look into it. And so just remember, guys, this Saturday, 4:00, racing starts down at the West Oz Quarter Scale Speedway. It's Gemma Road in Henderson. It's as I said, the weather looks like it's going to be a bit more promising. It has done lately, and 27 degrees. Great weather to come down, sit on the mound, watch some great Quarter Scale Speedway. It's the B&R Racing Dirt Mods High Roller meeting. It's a meeting we have every year, and it's sponsored by I think it's Brian Criddle and Robert Bell, or Robert Criddle, or one of the guys anyway, Brian and his son. So it's great to get the high rollers out there. As I said, as long as the Dirt Mods clean their act up a little bit from last week, because it was pretty average showing with all the crashing going on even before this races start. Yeah, thanks, Dave. Dave Mack. If anyone knows Dangerous Dave, he's been around Brian and Rhonda. There you go, Brian and Rhonda Criddle. Have to miss this one. TT 1-to-1 scale racing on. Okay. So Dale Clark won't be up this meeting, unfortunately. Thanks, Dave. Dave Mack. Everyone knows Dangerous Dave's always around Speedway, big time. Quarter Scale. He's been down the Quarter Scale Club. He loves our burgers down at the canteen there. He always says people want to run a hobby club canteen. Come down to West Oz Quarter Scale and see how to do it. So thanks, Dave. I know you're a great supporter of the Quarter Scale and a great supporter of Speedway. I always like chatting, catching up. You can have a bit of a chat about the old go-karting days and all those wild trips down at bloody Nibing and stuff like that. It's pretty good to watch. Jeff Booth come up with learning different track conditions is drive to the conditions, not overdrive. That's exactly right, Jeff. That's how you got to drive it. You know in the first 2 laps which way you got to drive a track. And is the 1-to-1 scale racing this week, is that up at Ellenbrook, Dale? I think it is, actually, 16th of October. I think it's a late model show up at Ellenbrook. And has no Dale Clark. He's the man who, behind our promotional stuff down at Bunbury, he's on the committee, and he's tied up with Brad Blake in late models. So he will be up there at Ellenbrook, giving him a hand to have a run down at Ellenbrook. And so, unfortunately, Dale Clark won't be there this meeting, but that's not an issue. He's got other things on the go. So, Christian, that's it. So that's about all it for tonight. It's as I said, it's a bit chilly out here tonight in the office, and we should be up and running. A bit warmer the next couple of nights. Be able to get in the shed and get a couple of cars ready. Make an appearance this week. 16th Ellenbrook Ray Tolk Memorial. Chelsea will be going there, so she won't have to bug me all night at the West Oz Quarter Scale Speedway. If you don't want to head up to Ellenbrook, head down to the Quarter Scale Speedway. Put on just as good a show. Hamburgers are just as good as well. What time does it start, Cole? About 4 o'clock, Dave. 4 o'clock racing starts. Probably ended up about 10 o'clock at night. Depends how many cars we get on the night. So hopefully you can come down and have a look if you're not going up to Ellenbrook. And you'll probably be down the Speedway practice on Wednesday. I don't think I will get there, but it should be okay. So just remember, guys, just get on down to the West Oz Quarter Scale Speedway down at Gemma Road in Henderson, right next door to the go-kart track. And hamburgers are better, actually. There you go. Hamburgers are better. So just come on down there. Just turn right before you go into the go-kart track, down the dirt track, and you'll see an airfield and the West Oz Quarter Scale Speedway. You see the lights. Just a mini motorplex. Any ideas for tech talk? Anyone out there who wants to learn about anything technical about quarter scale motors, speedway, servos, radios, anything, give myself or Wiggy just a messages, and we'll get online and have another Wiggy's Tech Talk show where he comes online and shows us how to set things up, which never stop learning in these industries, in hobbies and stuff like that. You might come out with something you don't know, and like everybody, that's why you always listen to what people say. You don't have to take it in, but just listen to what people say. It's just the way you learn about things. But as I said, it was so it should be a good showdown at the West Oz Quarter Scale Speedway on Saturday. Racing starts at 4 o'clock. Free entry. Canteen open from 4 till 8. And all in all, it's just a fun day. Bring the kids down. Just let them come through the pits, have a look at the cars. Let them sit up on the mound and just watch the racing and have a bit of a laugh sometimes with a bit of the action that happens on the track. And so it should be a good show. Hopefully we'll get the tarps off the infield this meeting, and be great show to put on for everybody. So once and all, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Thanks, Wiggy, for coming online. Next time next show I'll get an interview for somebody else. I'll probably the winner of the Dirt Modified meeting this week. Probably I'll get him online, have a bit of a chat with him, hopefully. And I was going to get, I lost it again. Live video's been interrupted. It should be coming back on. Did this break? It's coming up on my screen as if it's stopped. Hopefully it hasn't. Yeah, so we'll get someone live on. So the next meeting probably be Monday, October the 18th at 7 p.m. I'll probably go back till 7 p.m. start. A bit of a rush to get home from work and stuff like that. It's just if I got Wiggy on, it's 10 o'clock over there because they're done an hour later than us. No, all good. He's happy with any time. So, but nah. So hopefully we'll see you down the track this weekend. Just come on down, say good day to us, and say good day to everybody in the all good with me. Not a problem. So yeah, we'll just come on down. I'll probably have a live show. I'll probably have a live show down at the track on the weekend. I'll set up a little studio down there and have a live show before the racing starts. A couple of interviews with people in the pits. And then I'll probably go live with a bit of racing. Just got to go out and buy a 20-meter USB lead so I can run it from me GoPro to me camera in me trailer, to me computer in the trailer. But we'll try that and try and have a bit of fun with that. So all in all, just like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, and hopefully we'll see you at the track on Saturday night. between starting racing starts at 4 o'clock, and we should be all over by 10 o'clock. We've had a couple of early finishes lately, and it should be a great night. Darren Lockett will be on the gate like normal. Might get the John Day Ute out this time if the track's permitting. So all in all, just like thank everybody for tuning in tonight. And John Day Ute is going to hit the track again this weekend. That's what I just said. So that's great. John Day Ute, and it should be good. But yeah, come on down, have a bit of fun. Come on through the pits, have a bit of a talk. Come and say good day to everybody. And they're always welcome down there. So good luck, everybody, from Dale Clark. He's going to let someone else have a win this weekend. So well done to everybody. And I'll just tune off now. I'll just throw a few ads up for the sponsors of the West Oz Corscale Speedway and sponsors of all the series that run and all the meetings that run. So we'll just show a few sponsors, boards up, and then I'll catch us all at the track on the weekend. Thanks a lot. See you later. Well, I'm still here, showing a few ads. Just I'll put a couple of announcements out for Mitchell Nicol. I think he's from Queensland. He has a late model, brand new late model up for sale, complete, ready to race. I think it's got everything to race, radio, transponder, everything like that. I think it wants around $1,300 for it. I've seen it put on Facebook. So if anyone's interested in getting late model racing, get on to Mitchell Nicol. He will probably try and show you full mixtures. Oh, okay. He'll probably let him know that you're interested in buying it and having a look at a late model. So anyone interested in buying a late model, there's one for sale there. Also, if anybody's interested, I have a Futaba PL4 PLX, I think it is, radio for sale, $120. Not used very often. It comes with one servo and one transmitter and receiver and a battery. So that's $120 for a Futaba radio. Everyone's looking for one. If anyone else wants to buy or sell anything, just give us a hoy and I'll quickly advertise it on here for sale. So always never ending and stuff for sale. So hopefully we can get out there and sell a bit of gear and just keep people on the track. So also I've got a Bullet sprint car chassis for sale, which is right here. Sprint car chassis with a diff, Michael's a Philip 10's, just a standard diff. All the torsion bars are there. So if anyone interested in buying that for $800, it's about $800 worth of gear there. The front axle, diff, rear axle if you don't want to run a diff or a chain drive. So exactly what you see there is what's available. So if you want to sell anything, just give us a ring and we'll come up. We'll put it on here and see what happens. So hopefully we'll see how we go. So that's all for tonight. I'll catch us all later and I'll just put a few more ads up and then I'll be going. So